Instagram, TikTok, Tinder. These three apps have had a massive impact on the dating lives of men, more so than all the other thousands and thousands of apps out there combined. Some of the ways these apps have changed dating are not what you'd think, and starting with Instagram, you'll see the first big problem it has caused is it inflates women's standards. By nature, Instagram places all women in a hyper-abundant setting where they are constantly getting their beauty validated by their female friends and male simps they've never met. Every like, comment, and guy that slides into their DMs telling she's beautiful all makes women feel slightly more desired, which then in turn means their standards slowly but surely creep up. And they creep up to the point where their standards detach away from their true value. What's more is, in response, it causes an arms race amongst men because in order to stay competitive, they now need to dish out more free validation and lower their standards further. A race to the bottom and repeating cycle in a sense. Additionally, the problem is made worse because on Instagram, quality does not matter. Only quantity does. It makes no difference if an attractive guy gives her a like, or if an unattractive, low-status guy does. Because no one is ever looking at the individual profiles that like or follow a woman. All people see is the number. And this concept has quite a shocking side effect. Because, due to the fact women know all that matters is numbers, and any woman who's used Instagram before knows the more she shows her skin, the more likes she gets, she is then incentivized to post more revealing photos to receive more attention. This isn't difficult to show. I just went on this random Instagram model's profile and these are her 6 most recent posts. Now, which two do you think got the highest number of likes? Unsurprisingly, it was these two, which both eclipsed 10,000. As for the others, they barely cracked a few thousands. So, what this means is if women want to capitalise on their beauty, we will see more and more women reveal parts of their body they otherwise wouldn't have shown. And some will even go as far as creating exclusive pages in order to improve their finances. The fact the majority of these men subscribing are likely unattractive and low value does not matter. Because, as stated, on Instagram, everyone's like, follow, and cash dollars are equal. The only thing that matters is the numbers, not the quality of the guy giving them. Now, you might be thinking, this isn't a problem for me because so long I don't get involved, I won't be affected. However, this is a dumb argument because for the women that have these kind of things going on in their life, the further they go down this pipeline, the less desirable they are for a relationship. You not subscribing and not having Instagram doesn't change the fact all girls are pressured into following this path. And the extent to where she stops is her decision. Finally, the last problem caused by Instagram is it increases women's standards for looks just because of the fact Instagram is mostly about looks. What I mean by this is a lot of women have on their mind wanting an attractive boyfriend simply because he'll look good on social media. And they can't risk damaging their reputation by posting some ugly guy on their profile. Therefore, even if there is a man out there who they would date for his personality, there is a decrease in the likelihood she'll date him, as she realises she could get laughed at online for being with someone average to below average in looks. Anyway, that's the major problems associated with Instagram and how it affects dating for guys. But when we move over to TikTok, things here are arguably worse. The biggest problem caused by TikTok is it inflates women's perceptions of male attractiveness. TikTok uses a discovery algorithm to show the audience videos they might enjoy, and the biggest input to the algorithm is watch time, i.e. how much time a person spends watching a clip before swiping away. Anyway, you can see from this compilation there are a lot of attractive girls. But for women who use TikTok, their algorithm floods them with the best looking guys. Because when they come across a top 5% looks guy on TikTok, they are likely to give him a fraction more attention and watch time than they would for an average to below average looks guy. And therefore, when she opens the app next time, there is an increased chance she'll be shown the attractive guy, thus reinforcing the algorithm's feedback loop. Furthermore, because all women are likely behaving the same, the discovery overloads them with exclusively top 5% guys. And this is why you see on TikTok the vast majority of men look like this, which in the eyes of women in their late teens and early 20s are the most attractive men available. What are the consequences of this? Well, when women are bombarded with only seeing the most attractive guys, it skews their perception on what a justifiable looks standard is. So to put simply, a woman might see all the top 5% guys, and from this pick the middle guy as having enough of a looks level so she would date. However, when she goes back in the real world, the guys in her class, college, work, or friends will likely be nowhere near the standards she's used to on TikTok. Therefore, she rejects these men and waits on the imaginary TikTok guy who doesn't exist in real life. Secondly, the problems TikTok causes is dual-ended. So far, I've talked mainly about the problems on the consumer side. However, there's debatably a bigger impact to a smaller number of people on the creator side. What I've noticed on TikTok is it's very easy for a talentless nobody to blow up overnight. I, for one, know countless girls that have had a one-hit wonder getting 500k views on a single video. And once this happens a few times, more often than not, it goes straight to their heads. But what they don't understand is that their so-called accomplishment was actually quite easy, and the algorithm designed it to be that way. For anyone who doesn't know, TikTok's algorithm is very generous and will occasionally push low follower profiles to the top. And this is especially true for any new creators, because the algorithm will deliberately push one or two of a new creator's uploads within their first 20 posts, so then it triggers a huge dopamine rush for them. And then this high causes them to become hooked and upload more in order to try reach the same view spike the algorithm gave them originally. Exactly what TikTok wants. However, this will scarcely happen because the blessing they had at the beginning from a fresh new account is already gone. And this explains why it's almost impossible to maintain a reputation on TikTok. Ask yourself, how long does the average TikTok creator stay relevant for? I mean, here on YouTube it's bad enough. Creators are lucky to stay relevant for 3 years. For TikTok, it's more like 3 weeks. So, when these women post some video that took zero talent and no more than 10 minutes to produce, but still gets them 500k views, they are misled to believe their value is way higher than it actually is. Anyway, those are the main problems associated with TikTok for both the consumers and creators. And finally, when we move over to Tinder, which is the final platform causing chaos, we see there is little to be optimistic about as a man in dating. The main problems associated with Tinder are purely mathematical. Tinder has a 3-to-1 ratio of men to women, which right off the bat puts favour in the hands of women. However, even more shockingly, the amount of matches both men and women get is extremely skewed because of the fact men swipe right way more than women on average. The data shows men swipe right on just over half of the profiles they see, whereas women swipe right on only 5% of men. And yes, though this might not concretely be the top 5%, for the most part it is, because it'll likely be the same guys who are attractive, tall, high status with great photos that are hoarding all the likes. And what's more, Tinder only reinforces this monopoly further with their ruthless algorithm. The way it works is when a woman goes on Tinder, she may only swipe through 20 to 30 profiles before getting bored and closing the app. And of these 20 to 30 profiles, they are going to be the most in demand and best looking men, as that is how the algorithm is programmed to promote. So in other words, if you're in the bottom 95%, there's a decent chance you won't even be seen. This is what many guys think makes online dating such a kick in the teeth. It's like the Bible extract. For whoever has, to him shall more be given, and whoever does not have, even what he has shall be taken away from him. There is probably no better example of this than Tinder. The top 5% of men already have received blessings genetically, and then they are blessed further by the algorithm as it gives a helping hand. Whereas for average to below average guys, they're already in a crap position, and then the algorithm makes it even worse by pushing them further and further down the card stack. Now, some guys then go on to cope by talking about perfecting the bio or things like that. However, what these guys don't understand is when it comes to Tinder, looks is essentially the only thing you can bring to the table. And if you've ever had the displeasure of watching a female friend swiping in real life, you'll know this point is true. What this means is if you're a guy who in real life has good connections, social skills, status, game, etc., you might have decent chances when talking to girls offline. However, on Tinder, there's no chance you'll be able to compete with the top 5%, and you're basically wasting your time. The underlying problem is Tinder is a rigged game with an uneven playing field. Your chances are left out of your control and are instead dictated by the looks you have and a merciless algorithm. Anyway, that wraps up the problems with Tinder and its effects on men's dating. If you enjoyed today's content, check out my other video on online dating now, and make sure to press the like button and to leave any thoughts you have in the comments below, as it all helps the YouTube algorithm.